Presenting the D1200 Digital Recording Studio, featuring an intuitive and easy-to-use interface for recording and audio CD production. In addition to many of the features that have made the D-series recorders so successful, the D1200 features a new modelling mode, as well as a built-in USB interface. This D1200 video manual will get you started quickly, from basic operation through use of effects and higher level editing functions, CD burning, USB backup and more. This section of the video covers the basic order of recording, which includes recording of each track, editing, mixdown, mastering and writing to a CD. We'll begin this quick start by recording two different guitar phrases, and then mixing down and mastering the tracks, and finally making an audio CD. And by the way, you'll find this same quick start at the beginning of the owner's manual in detail. Before we begin working with the D1200, let's install the optional CDRW-1 drive. With the power supply disconnected from the D1200, slide the eject switch, located on the bottom panel, in this direction, and the plastic cover will push out. You can then remove the cover in this way. Carefully insert the CDRW-1 into the drive bay, making sure that the label is on top and the arrow is pointing up, like this. Push the drive into the bay until you hear an audible click, and the drive locks into place. To further secure the drive, fasten the included locking screw into the eject latch. Once the CDRW-1 is attached, connect the power supply and press this switch to power up the D1200. The startup screen will appear in the display on power up, and a graphic representation of the CDRW-1 will indicate that installation was a success. Also noted in the startup screen is the current operating system of the D1200. Press the power switch for approximately 1 second to turn off the power. When the dialog appears in the display, press either the Enter key or Yes, OK key to turn off the power. It's important not to remove the power supply while the D1200 is on. Connect powered monitors to the master out on the rear panel of the D1200. Now we're ready to begin recording. First, let's select a new song for recording. After power up, the D1200 enters song mode. Use the cursor to move to New and then press the Enter key. You can then select the song type and mixer setting. Finally, press the Yes, OK key to create a new song. Now to rename the song. Use the cursor to move to Rename and then press the Enter key. Cursor to the name field. Press the Enter key repeatedly to move through the name, and use the dial to change the characters in the name. When you've completed naming, press the Yes, OK key. First, connect a guitar to the front panel dedicated guitar input jack. The D1200 features KORG's original REMS modelling technology in modelling mode. This mode provides great modelling effects that work well for guitar, bass and microphone applications. Press the modelling key and the display will indicate the three modelling types. Make sure that guitar is highlighted and then press the Enter key. The modelling key lights when you access modelling mode. Note that when you enter modelling mode, the track status keys of channels 1 and 2 automatically light red. The D1200 makes it easy for you to begin recording. Now to adjust the input level. Rotate the trim knob for input 1 so that the peak indicator just begins to flash when the guitar is played with its strongest force. Next, set and confirm the fader levels Press the meter track view key. Raise the channel 1 and 2 faders to 0 and rotate the pan controls to L and R. Raise the master fader gradually to monitor the input signal as you play. The D1200 features a built-in autochromatic tuner, which lets you quickly and accurately tune your guitar. The tuner appears in the display when the tuner key is pressed. The calibration can be set with the dial. Each time a string is played, the key is indicated in the display. Perfect tune is achieved when the round dot is indicated in the centre of the display. Press the modelling key again. Now you can edit the sound in modelling mode. The graphics indicate drive, tone and cabinet, where you can select distortion type, overall character of vacuum tubes and the cabinet type. To edit the sound in greater detail, cursor to drive, tone or cabinet and press the Enter key to display the parameter for each model selected. Then use the dial to make adjustments as needed. Once you've finished editing, cursor to Exit and press the Enter key to exit the modelling mode. Now you're ready to check levels and start recording. Press the meter track view key. Channels 1 and 2 are already set to standby. So press the record key followed by the play key and recording will start. Once you've finished recording, press the stop key. Now to play back the recording, press and hold the stop key while pressing the rewind key once to return to the song beginning. Now press the track status key so that the LED turns to green, track play status. Press the play key and playback will begin so that you can confirm the recording. Press stop and next we'll record another guitar part to channels 3 and 4. Just as before, edit the sound as desired in modelling mode. Remember that when you enter modelling mode, channels 1 and 2 are automatically set to standby record status. Since you will be recording a new guitar part on channels 3 and 4, change the status of channels 1 and 2 to green and set channels 3 and 4 status to red. Then set each pan control to L and R and set the faders to 0. After exiting modelling mode, press the Input-Output Solo key. In input mode, the input assignment of guitars and other instruments are set to specific channels. When you access modelling mode, however, the auto looping function automatically assigns input 1, in this case the guitar. In another example, when a synthesizer is connected to inputs 3 and 4 and assigned to each channel, you would select the channels to be recorded and then assign inputs 3 and 4 accordingly. And so, in summary, The D1200 lets you easily select which input source is assigned to a specific channel via the input assignment. You can decide which channel is recorded with the track status key. Now let's start recording the new tracks. First, reset to the song beginning and then press the record key followed by the play key. Recording will begin and you can track the new guitar part while monitoring the previous part. In mixdown, you'll adjust the total song balance by applying effects and EQ to the recorded tracks. Once you've set all the recorded tracks to play status, you can reset to the song beginning and start creating a mixdown. Let's start by working with the EQ settings. Press the EQ to enter equalizer mode. The tabs at the bottom of the display indicate tracks 1 to 4, 5 to 8 and 9 to 12 respectively. Here, the track 1 to 4 tab is open and each EQ parameter is indicated. The settings are low, high and mid EQ gain plus mid EQ frequency. When the gain is set to minus, its frequency range is cut, and when set to plus, the frequency is boosted. The frequency of mid EQ makes it possible to set the center frequency to be cut or boosted, allowing precise selection and control of the mid frequency. Let's work with the EQ settings for tracks 1 to 4 while the song plays back. Setting EQ in playback will allow you to set a better balance between tracks. Now let's apply one of the two available master effects to the song. Master effects are ambient type effects such as reverb, applied to adjust the depth of overall sound for each track. The D1200 makes it possible for you to use two independent master effects and set send levels for each track into either or both master effects. Press the Master Effect auxiliary key. Confirm that the Master Effect 1 tab is indicated in the display and use the dial to select the effect program. Next, open the Effect Send 1 tab and set the send amount of each track to Master Effect 1. Here, each track can use as much effect as desired. Moving to tabs in the display can be accomplished by repeatedly pressing a mode key. You can also select tab pages by pressing the Yes, OK and No Cancel keys, which are convenient to use in a mode which has many tabs accessible. Use the cursor keys to select each knob icon, and then use the dial to set the send amount. The send level can be set as you play back the song. Mastering is the operation you'll use to complete and burn an audio CD. The mastering process includes setting the overall mix of each track and applying a final effect before you write to CD. Press the Meter Track View key and make sure that Post Fader is selected as the metering view. Start playback of the song from the beginning and then adjust the volume of each track with the track faders. Set the pan position as needed. The Post Fader view allows you to monitor the volume of each channel after each fader has been set. Adjust the final recording level with the Master Fader. Now we'll apply the final effect to the song. A final effect is a dynamic type of effect, such as a compressor, applied to the overall mix and used in studio mastering applications. Press the final effect key to enter this mode. Next, select the desired effect using the dial. Here we'll select a stereo multiband limiter as the final effect. Now you can play back the song and listen to the applied final effect. You can also change the final effect program as the song plays back and use the bypass button in the display to toggle between the dry and effected mix. Now that the mastering is completed, let's combine all 4 tracks to 2 tracks. This is called bounce recording, and we'll need to do this so that the final 2-track mix can be written to CD. Select tracks 11 and 12 as the destination tracks for the bounce operation, and then set the fader position. Press the bounce key and in the recording mode tab, cursor to bounce and press the enter key. Next, press the bounce key again and set the bounce mode to 12 tracks to 2 tracks. The destination record track setting of current for the record virtual track is correct as indicated. Set the track status for channels 11 and 12 to red, and after resetting the song to the beginning, press the record key followed by the play key to begin bounce recording. Once the recording is complete, press the stop key. Now let's confirm the bounce recording. Press and hold down the stop key and press the rewind key once to reset the song to the beginning. Then change the track status for tracks 11 and 12 to green and lower the faders for tracks 1 through 4. Press the play key to playback and confirm the bounce recording. Now let's write the tracks to a CD. Press the CD key and select tracks 11 and 12. Cursor to track monitor and press the enter key. Then press the play key to monitor the song playback and confirm that the levels are set properly so that clipping does not occur. Press the eject key on the front of the CDRW-1 drive and insert a blank CDR disc into the drive. Press the CD key again and then cursor to write to CD. Press the enter key to confirm. To set the writing speed, cursor to speed and use the dial to select 8 times. Now press the Yes OK key to begin writing the CD. The display will indicate when writing is completed. If you do not need to write additional CDs at this point, press the Enter key. The current condition of the CD is not recognised as an audio CD, so it must now be finalised. Cursor to Final and then press the Enter key, followed by the Yes OK key. When finalising is completed, the CD will automatically eject from the drive and Complete is indicated in the display. Press the Yes OK key to complete the operation. So far we've covered recording, mixdown and mastering. As you can see, the D1200 makes it possible to record a song intuitively. Now for some additional recording and editing procedures. First, we'll record a song using the D1200's internal rhythm patterns. There are 215 patterns available for a variety of musical genres. And in a song, you can create a tempo map, combining multiple patterns to create a complete drum track. After creating a new song, press the rhythm key and cursor to rhythm off. Then press the enter key to select rhythm on, and you'll hear the metronome playback. Raise the fader and use the dial to audition a few patterns. Cursor to the pop-up button next to the current pattern and press the enter key to display the pattern list. Now you can select new patterns with the dial. Now let's put together a rhythm track for the song. To do this, we'll create a tempo map. A tempo map allows you to assign different patterns and tempo for each measure in a song. To begin, cursor to tempo source and use the dial to select tempo map. Now select the tempo map tab and confirm that map 001 is indicated in the display. Then cursor to the edit button and press the enter key. OK. Let's begin entering events into the tempo map. First, enter the count in with a hi-hat pattern at the first measure. We've selected measure 1 to 1, tempo is set to 120, and the rhythm pattern is hi-hat 4. Now press the Yes OK key to enter the first event in the tempo map. Next, let's select the 8-beat rock pattern for the second to fourth measure. Cursor to New and press the Enter key. Then select 8-beat rock 1 with the dial and set the end measure to 4. Press the Yes OK key to confirm. Now let's insert a fill-in at measure 5. Again, select New and then select Fill 8 Beat Rock 3 as the fill-in pattern. Then measures should currently be set from 5 to 5. The letter F at the beginning of the pattern indicates a fill-in. Press the Yes OK key to confirm. By now you can see how easy it is to set up a tempo map using the internal rhythm patterns. To view all the patterns in this tempo map, we can cursor to the pop-up button next to the current map event and then press the Enter key. Once the pattern events have been entered into the tempo map, we can monitor the playback. Press the Input-Output Solo key and then use the dial to assign rhythm left to channel 1 and rhythm right to channel 2, as indicated by these icons. Now set the track status for channels 1 and 2 to orange, and then raise each fader to 0. Set the pan position to left and right. Now press play to hear the tempo map playback. Although you can use pattern playback simply as a guide track, the patterns and tempo maps can also be recorded to tracks. Press the meter track view key to check the input level. Press the play key to view the metering for channels 1 and 2 and adjust the faders to prevent clipping. Now to begin recording the tempo map. Reset the song to the beginning by holding down the stop key and then pressing the rewind key once. Now change the track status of channels 1 and 2 to red. Press the record key to enter standby recording and then press the play key to begin recording. Once the tempo map has been recorded, press the stop key. Any recording that you initiate on the D1200 is written to the internal hard disk, meaning that all data is saved automatically. Modelling mode was covered briefly in the Quick Start section of this video. Now to explain this mode in greater detail. First, let's look at the parameters located in the guitar category of modelling mode. As we mentioned before, at the top level of the guitar category, you have types of distortion, as well as tube and cabinet selections. Now let's look at each of the parameters for drive, tone and cabinet. First we'll select drive. Cursor to drive and press the enter key. Now use the knobs below the display to adjust the distortion amount, volume and noise reduction level. If the guitar input level is too low or too hot, you may not get the desired effect from distortion or noise reduction. In this case, make the appropriate input trim adjustments. Now to work with the tone parameters. There are 3 available: bass, middle and treble, just as provided on most guitar amplifiers. Next we'll adjust the cabinet parameters. The selections are air, which sets the overall ambience of the sound, output level, and finally presence, which simulates the high frequency level control in an amplifier's power amp section. In addition to the guitar category of modelling effects, the D1200 provides a bass category and a mic category of models, with suitable effects including bass dynamics and modulation and various microphone simulations. The D1200 provides up to 8 insert effects for every song, and these effects can be assigned and recorded on input, or applied to already recorded tracks. In the next example, we'll record a guitar part with an insert effect. First, create a new song. Then connect a guitar to the guitar in jack and set up channels 1 and 2 with the input assignment set to 1 for both channels. Next, set the track status to red and set the appropriate input level with the trim knob. Finally, raise the channel 1 and 2 faders and set the pan controls to left and right. The D1200 features some multi-effects or chains designed for guitar processing. We'll select and listen to one of these effect types. Press the Insert Effect key and then cursor to the pop-up button next to the Select Effect Type. Press the Enter key and then select 1 in 2 out times 2 as the effect type. Press the Enter key and then press the Yes OK key. The effect type selected sends the mono input signal from the guitar out in stereo and is the most suitable effect type for lead guitar. Next, cursor to the Insert To pop-up button and press the Enter key. Here you can assign and insert effects to an input. Cursor to Off and use the dial to set the value to 1 and 2 as shown. Then press the Yes OK key. Now select the Insert Effect 1 tab. Use the dial to select one of the effect programs available. Note that some of the D1200 insert effects can be controlled by an expression pedal like the XVP10. Here's an example of using the wah effect and controlling it with an expression pedal. In addition, using the pedal allows you to control other effects, such as changing the pitch. In this example, we're going to record a new guitar part with insert effects, while monitoring already recorded drums and bass. The drums were recorded on tracks 7 and 8, and the bass part was recorded on track 6. Make sure that the track status for each of these tracks is set to green. The guitar already has insert effects assigned on input to be recorded on tracks 1 and 2. Set the track status to red and make sure that the faders for tracks 3, 4, 5 and 9 and 10, 11 and 12 are all the way down. Now to begin recording, press the record key followed by the play key to start. Record the guitar part while monitoring the drum and bass tracks. When you're satisfied with your recorded track, you can move on to additional tracks for recording and processing with insert effects on input or on playback. When we recorded the guitar, we used insert effects on input, and so we'll still have up to 8 effects available for the other tracks. We've created a new song and now we'll record an acoustic guitar. We can record using any external microphone, and this type of condenser microphone is normally used when recording acoustic guitar in the studio. Of course, a condenser microphone requires a power supply to operate. The D1200 features phantom power so that any condenser mic can be used. Note that phantom power is switchable for both input 1 and input 2, allowing you to use condenser and dynamic microphones at the same time. Connect the microphone cable to the input 1 jack on the top panel and then switch on the phantom power on the rear panel. Then, as in our previous examples, set the input assignment and set track status to red. Raise the faders for channels 1 and 2 and set the pan position to left and right. Then raise the master fader and press the record key to set standby recording. Now let's record a few measures of the mic'd acoustic guitar. When recording is complete, press the stop key and switch the phantom power off. Note that whenever a condenser mic is connected or removed, the phantom power must be off. If it is set to on, damage to the microphone could occur. It's likely that you may want to record several takes of guitar or vocals, and then select your favourite track. In digital recording, these tracks are called virtual tracks. The D1200 provides 8 virtual tracks for each track, and with 12 tracks available, this totals 96 virtual tracks for every song. Now let's get ready to record a guitar solo. First, we'll set locate points so that we can go to the exact point in the song where recording will begin instantly. There are 4 locate points available on the D1200 for each song. In application then, you might want to set up a locate point for the intro, the first verse, the second chorus and finally the solo. Here we have a pre-recorded song ready for a guitar solo. The solo starts after 1 minute, so set the locate point to 1 minute by first setting the counter position. Then press the store key and the display will indicate the counter setting. Press the locate 1 key to set the locate point. Now, from any point in the song, you can move instantly to the stored locate point. Now we'll assign a virtual track by pressing the track key and using the dial to select virtual track 1A to 1H. In this example, we'll select virtual tracks 1C and 2C for recording while monitoring playback of the backing tracks. Now to arm the track for recording and begin. Now we'll select virtual tracks 1D and 2D for recording so that we can record another take of the guitar solo. Press the Locate 1 key to locate to the solo section and begin recording again. In this example, virtual tracks 1C and D and 2C and D indicate that recording has been completed by the dark left boxes in each column. No recording has been done on virtual tracks whose left column boxes are not dark. With 8 virtual tracks per track, you can record multiple takes and choose the best for final processing, playback and mastering. The D1200 provides the ability to import WAV files. A WAV file is a sampled waveform which is compatible with a PC. A WAV file on a CD-ROM can be imported from the CDRW drive into the D1200 to be used in a song. There are many CD-ROMs available for sale, containing everything from sampled drum grooves to sound effects. In this example, we'll import a WAV file from CD-ROM into a new song. Press the track key repeatedly until the Import tab is selected. Now we'll select the source drive for the WAV file. Cursor to the pop-up button next to Select Drive and press the Enter key. Then cursor to CD and press the Enter key to confirm. Then press the Yes, OK key. Now select the pop-up button next to the file list and press the Enter key. Note that the list of WAV files appears in the display. Now cursor to the arrow button and use the dial to select the desired WAV file. Note that when cursoring to each file, you can preview and listen to the first 2 seconds of the file by pressing the Enter key. Once you've selected the file for importing, press the Yes, OK key to close the dialog box. Now to set the destination tracks for the imported file. The WAV file in this example is a stereo file, and so we'll set tracks 11 and 12 as the destination and then cursor to Execute and press the Enter key. When the dialog box appears, press the Yes, OK key. When complete is indicated, press the Yes, OK key again. Now you can confirm that the WAV file has been imported to the tracks. Raise the track fader and press the play key for playback. In this example, importing the WAV file and using the track edit functions will allow you to create a new drum track. Next, we'll cover editing of the recorded tracks. The D1200 features a large variety of professional editing functions. Let's begin by copying a section of a track to create a repeating phrase. First, you'll need to set a range of audio for the copy procedure. By this, I mean setting in, out and 2 points for the destination track. The previously imported WAV file is a 2-measure drum phrase. So I want to copy these 2 measures to the end of the same track for seamless repeating of the phrase. Press the Store key, then press the In Locate 1 key at the beginning of the first measure. Now set the counter position to the beginning of the 3rd measure and press the Store key followed by the Out Locate 2 key. Finally, press the Store key followed by the 2 locate 3 key at the current counter location third measure. At this point I've captured an in-out region of audio from measure 1 to 2 and set the destination measure 3 as the point that I will copy the data to. Now to copy the track data, press the track key until the Edit Track tab is accessed. Copy track is indicated here, so we'll select a track. The drum phrase was recorded to tracks 11 and 12, so select these tracks with the dial. Then set the destination tracks for the copy to 11 and 12 as well. And finally, select how many times the copied data will repeat, beginning at the 2 point that was stored. Set this to 10 times. Now cursor to Execute and press the Enter key, followed by the Yes, OK key. Press Enter when completed appears in the display. Reset the song to the beginning, and then we'll listen to the track. If you made a mistake in copying, pressing the Undo key will return the tracks to the condition before the copy procedure was executed. The track expansion and compression function allows you to expand or compress a set region of audio data work in a specific time frame. For example, you can adjust a drum phrase which was imported or recorded at a different tempo to work perfectly with the tempo of another region of music data in a song, either by expanding it to fit a longer passage or compressing it to fit in a limited range of time. As an example, let's change the tempo of a recorded drum phrase. The drum phrase was originally recorded at a tempo of 94 beats per minute. Now to change it to a new BPM of 100. First, we'll set the region of audio we want to work with. The phrase was recorded for 2 measures. Set the in time at the beginning of the first measure, and then set the out time at the beginning of the third measure. Note that I pressed the Store key before registering each of these settings. Now to change the tempo, press the Rhythm key and set the tempo to 100. Reset the song to the first measure. Now we'll store the 2 point to be the first measure and the end time to the beginning of the third measure, the same as the original in and out point stored. This means that when we execute the expansion compression function, the tempo during the stored region of time will be changed. Now press the Track key to access the Edit Track tab. Cursor to the pop-up button as shown and press Enter to open the edit list. Then cursor to Expansion Compression, press Enter and press the Yes, OK key. Set the original tracks to 11 and 12 and the destination tracks to the same, and then set the number of copies to 3 times. Cursor to Mode and press the Enter key. From the dialog box that appears, select Fast and then press the Yes, OK key to return to the tab page. Select Execute and press the Enter key. Press the Yes, OK key to confirm. Once completed is indicated, press the Yes, OK key. Reset the song to the beginning and then press play to listen to the edited tracks. The D1200 features many innovative editing functions including Optimize mode. The Erase Silence function erases any audio region where no sound is present, thereby freeing up more memory on the internal hard disk. The Erase Punch Noise function reduces any noise which sometimes occurs after a punch-in or punch-out is performed when recording. The Optimize functions work on a specified region of audio where fragmenting of the internal hard disk may have occurred from repeated recording or editing. You set the in and out points before optimizing. When frequent recording or editing is done to short audio regions, the hard disk is accessed more frequently due to the data becoming fragmented. Optimize recreates the blank data between events as one audio event versus multiple events, thus conserving hard disk space and eliminated skipping in playback or disk busy warnings. In application, the erase silence function can be used when recording is occurring but no sound is being played for a long period of time. For instance, a guitar part may be recording for a few measures and then, even though recording continues, the guitar is not played. Executing the erase silence function for those specific regions creates audio events only when sound is heard and eliminates the space between as events. In any recording application where punch in and punch out functions are available, you may introduce noise into the recording at the punch points. The erase punch noise function eliminates this noise as well as noise introduced in other edits such as the transition time between the copying of audio data. To work in these edit modes, set the track edit type to optimize, then cursor to mode and press the enter key. You can now select the edit type from the dialog box. With the D1200 you can easily set up multiple mixes in a song and store each mix as a scene. Then in playback the mix will be automated as new scenes are recalled. These are the settings that can be stored in a scene. As indicated in this diagram, scenes can be set up for song intros, choruses, etc. Up to 100 scenes can be stored for each song. First, set the time in the song for the scene to be stored. Then set the faders and pan controls as well as equalizer, effect settings and so on. Once you're happy with the mix you've created, press the store key, followed by pressing the scene key. The new memorized scene will now be indicated in the display. The faders, EQ, pan and effect settings can be stored as scenes and automatically recalled in song playback. In addition, an external MIDI sequencer can be used to transmit and receive data such as fader and pan changes, providing mix automation. Now let's set up a scene so that it will change automatically while the song plays back. Press the scene key, select the Read Delete tab and then cursor to highlight Scene Read in the display. Press the Enter key so that Scene Read On is indicated. The scene key will light. The Mix View tab displays the settings of the faders and pan controls for the currently selected scene, giving you an accurate indication of the settings. Now we'll apply master effects to a completed song. Press the Master Effect auxiliary key. Now select the Master Effect 1 tab and use the dial to select an effect program. Here we'll select a Reverb Room program. Next, move to the Effect Send 1 tab where you can set up the send levels for each channel as desired. All of the channels are accessible in this tab. Use the cursor to move to each knob icon, and then use the dial to set the send level for each channel. In the final step of the editing process, let's mix the song down to 2 tracks. We'll bounce all 12 tracks down to 2 tracks in a virtual 2-track mixdown. As you remember, previously we bounced several tracks down to 2 tracks, but the D1200 also features a way to mix down all 12 tracks to 2 virtual tracks without overwriting any existing track data. And just as we did in the quick start section of this video, we'll apply a final effect to the mix and then bounce the tracks. Press the Final Effect key to access the Final Effect tab. Use the dial to select an effect program. Now to complete the bounce procedure. Press the Bounce key and in the Record Mode tab, cursor to highlight Bounce, and press the Yes OK key to move to the Bounce tab. Cursor to select 12 track to 2 track as the bounce mode. In this example, the destination virtual tracks will remain as current. However, you can also select any other virtual tracks for the bounce operation, thereby retaining the original individual destination tracks versus mixing all tracks with them. Make sure that tracks 3 to 12 are set to green for playback and set the track status for tracks 1 and 2 to red for recording. Press the record key and then press the play key to execute the bounce. Now to play back the bounce recording of all 12 tracks down to 2 tracks. Set the track status of tracks 1 and 2 to green and pull down the faders for all the other tracks. Turn off Scene Red so that the original mix settings are not recalled. Then reset the song to the beginning and press play to play back the new mix down. Now let's burn the mixed down song to CD. Insert a blank CDR disc into the CDRW-1 drive. Press the CD key and make sure that in the display track 1 and 2 is indicated as the source tracks. In this example we'll leave disc at once set to off. If it is set to on, the audio data will be written to CD from beginning to end and the finalize function will automatically be executed. On a side note, if your application calls for recording a live show for the purpose of making a CD and you want to eliminate the standard gaps between tracks on the final CD, you can simply record the entire show to one song on the D1200. Then you can set mark points at any place desired for quick recall in editing the audio data. Select the CDR/RW tab in CD mode and cursor to Write to CD, then press the Enter key. From the dialog box, select 8 times as the writing speed and then press the Yes OK key to begin burning the CD. Both CDR and CDRW discs can be used with the D1200. However, for most applications it is suggested that you use CDR blank discs for mastering, as some consumer CD players do not recognise CDRW discs. Once writing is completed, the display will indicate 100% finished and will prompt you to write another CD. Pressing Yes, OK would allow you to burn additional CDs, as an image file can be retained on the hard disk for this purpose to efficiently write multiple copies of a CD. However, in this example, we'll skip that option and press the Enter key. At this point, the CDR is not recognised as an audio CD and is native only to the D1200 for playback. So we'll need to finalise the CD to play it back on any external players. Once finalise is completed, the CD will be automatically ejected from the drive and the display will indicate completed. Press the Yes OK key to complete the operation. Now to play back the CD in an audio CD player. When working with the D1200, you'll find that the blue sections on the top panel guide you intuitively through the steps from the input stage to processing, to recording, mastering and finally burning a CD. The quick start section of this video manual and also the printed D1200 owner's manual get you started in this same way. By following the blue sections from top to bottom, you should be able to create songs and burn CDs easily. The D1200 features a built-in USB terminal, making it possible to transfer and receive data between a computer and the D1200. 2 GB on the D1200 internal hard disk is allocated for the purpose of sharing data with an external computer via the USB terminal. The remaining drive capacity is allocated for audio recording on the D1200. 3 files are saved to external PC via USB: song data, effect user data and wave files data. Now let's back up the song data into the USB drive and save it to the hard disk of an external PC. Note that the drive we're speaking of is the allocated space for USB on the D1200's internal hard disk. Select a song, press the System USB key and select the Backup Restore tab. Select the pop-up button next to the Backup Restore list and press the Enter key. Make sure that Backup 1 song is selected and then press the Yes OK key. Cursor to the Select Drive button and press the Enter key. From the dialog box, select USB DOS and press the Yes OK key. Now cursor to Execute and press the Enter key. When the dialog box appears, confirm the operation by pressing the Yes OK key. When the backup is finished, completed is indicated in the display. Press the Yes OK key. Now that the backup data has been stored on the D1200's USB drive, connect a USB cable between the PC and D1200 USB ports. On the D1200, move to the Disk Utility tab in the display and press the Enter key. In a moment, the D1200 display will indicate that the connection to PC is complete and the PC desktop will indicate a USB drive has been detected. On the PC, open the USB drive indicated on the desktop and copy the D1200 files to the hard disk on the PC. As you see, these files can now be transmitted and received between the PC and the D1200. Another function available for backup via USB is the transfer or effect data from the D1200 to PC. By selecting Backup User Data from the Backup Restore tab, it is possible to backup all or any individual effect programs via USB. In addition, new effect programs can be downloaded from KORG.com and then restored into your D1200. You can even email original effect program files among D1200 users. We now come to the end of the D1200 video manual, and we hope that we helped you to get started working with the product. There is much more for you to learn about the D1200 and KORG's digital recording technology, and we encourage you to read the owner's manual and visit KORG.com on a regular basis for even more support and downloads. Thank you, and best of luck to you with your D1200 digital recording studio.